Welcome back, everybody. It is now time to talk college sports, and what better than college basketball? 'Tis the season, right? It's the middle of March. Let's go.
Tournament is set, and I think there won't be much production at work the next couple weeks for these guys. There'll be a lot of computer watching and long lunches. And
have you filled out your brackets?
Yeah, I've played with it a little bit. I'm not done. I got to wait and get my injury reports from everybody and see what I'm going to do. Don and I have been talking. We've got some things we were going to go over. Everybody's got their favorites, and
will you do more than one bracket?
I think
will you
so.
do a Kentucky win and Kentucky winning?
And the upsets are what I like to pick, and we've looked at that. There's some teams I think that are ranked pretty high, Don, that I think could have some trouble. As much as I'll start off with that. Much as I like the way they play and the way they ran through the ACC, I don't know if Notre Dame can continue that particular pace, because when you get in those tournaments and you rely on that three-point shot, a lot of times that can go away from you pretty quick. So
it does.
They, the size could get them, and I don't know. So that would be my first possible high seed to go out. What have you got on Summer? You want to talk more about the Notre Dame, or what do you think?
What about North Carolina? They play Georgia State. Georgia State has a kid from UK and a kid from Louisville. So
and neither one of those are the leading scorer. The coach's son's the leading.
That's right.
Now, Harrow is the kid that was at Kentucky, but he did not play in the conference tournament. Is he going to be well? I have not been able to find out if he's going to be able to play. I haven't heard much more
about the way I've read. What I've heard is I believe he will be healthy to go.
I think there's some of those.
I'm like you, though. Notre Dame could be a team that could be in trouble.
I think they could be. I really do. Another one I've got, my one Big 12-5 upset. That's the big, my first, I'll start on that, my 12-5. I think Wofford will beat Arkansas, and I like Arkansas.
I was looking at that myself.
Just because I've seen some of the late night Wofford games, they do a good job. And Arkansas, they're a great team. They put so much effort. I think they're a little down, and I think Wofford could sneak up on them.
They're going to be upset after losing to Kentucky again.
Yeah.
What about Harvard?
And you digging deep. Now I can't go. If I got money on line, I can't go that deep on that upset. But I like. They play a good style of ball.
They're always a team to watch out for in their 12 this year.
Yeah.
And they play Utah, who don't know much about either team, but Utah doesn't exactly jump out like a I'm going to win team.
Now will you mind me? I've got Utah playing Stephen F. Austin. Am I all wrong on my bracket? Where are we at?
Maybe.
Where's Harvard? Harvard's in a different.
No, I mean they're in the South. They're in Duke's bracket.
Harvard plays North Carolina first round. So you gonna pick that?
Harvard
you
plays
gonna call
Utah.
It? Which bracket we got, Don?
I don't know. My bracket's showing
I've got Utah.
I'm on ESPN.
Stephen S. Austin.
Sure is.
And then we've got Harvard and North Carolina over here, 4-13.
I'm on ESPN.com, and it's got Harvard.
We're going to blame it on that. Well, let's go back to my other big seed upsets. We'll talk about that, see what we've got.
Yeah.
Now, I think Kansas is in trouble.
Kansas really hasn't been a team that especially after watching them play Kentucky, but they've gotten better as the season goes on, but Kansas just doesn't seem like
But the Alexander kid, he's probably good. I don't know what's going on with that. The NCAA, again, taking so long to make that decision. I don't know. Now, Villanova, a big 2 seed. I like Villanova. I watched a lot of that Big East tournament.
I'm not a big Villanova guy. Villanova seems like a team to me that they can play a regular season very well, but then when it gets playoff time, they get scared and they just always get knocked out.
Well, they got a very good break.
Syracuse team.
Providence had them beat. I like Providence. Providence had them beat late in that game, and a very questionable call pushed them on over the edge. So some of those guys, and again, the Big East is not. I like the Butler. I like Xavier. Yeah. Georgetown. I think Georgetown's lucky to be in. I think they'll have a hard road to hoe. So, so that's some of mine. If you've got any.
What about Wichita State? They're 5.
I've got them beating.
They're against Wofford. Which I don't know much about Wofford. But.
I think they'll. Once they go out. Don, I don't know what bracket you on, buddy. I'm way off because I've got Wichita State going against. Where is my Wichita State?
Maybe this. Oh, I think I see what I'm doing. I see what I'm.
Yeah. They're Indiana. They're playing Indiana.
I'm on this thing, and it's projected brackets.
All right. Well, see, there you go.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
You have to get off. Get on this Wi-Fi, fancy Wi-Fi. We got it, Jack Burbage Chevrolet.
I need a new bracket.
All right. Well, here you go. That's my one. Wichita State plays Indiana. Now, that's the other one.
Now, Indiana, did Indiana belong?
I'm going to say yeah because I'm an Indiana fan, but I think Murray State probably some of the
Murray State,
got out, but,
27 wins.
Yep.
what, 20 in a row? I know it's still Ohio Valley, but come on.
They can't do anything against who they play. But
we have 8 teams going to the playoffs this year as a Valley.
Yep.
In all the brackets, so.
But what you've got there, Don, is just, big conferences, big opportunities.
The Power 5 always get in.
Going back to that Wichita State game where they come out, the big game there, they could end up against Kansas in that second round. And that, and if you recall some of the stories, Wichita State people have been all over Bill Self and Kansas because they won't play him.
Yeah.
It's again like Kentucky wouldn't used to not play some of the local schools because they didn't.
Honestly, I thought they'd put Indiana up there in the 8-9 game against Kentucky second round.
They do. So it's going to be interesting. Again, a lot of first round. You'll have not that many upsets. People will think there'll be more.
I've seen Valparaiso play twice against Maryland.
Yeah.
How good is Maryland?
I think they're good. They got some senior leadership. I was worried about that, and I really, as my projected, I think Maryland will get to UK there. I don't think they have much of a shot because my other upset in that bracket is I think Buffalo will beat West Virginia because that one kid is still iffy on his injuries.
West Virginia
the state
plays
kid
too. Huggins plays are not solid, so I'm like you. Arkansas could be in trouble.
Yep. So now that's some of our possible first round.
Oh, he was giving that to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. I didn't know where we was looking.
It's
I get you to keep up. All right, I thought because he was out, but I've got a good copy. But
I love just sitting here listening.
What do you think, Don, on some of your, we got someone we may think flame out, some of those big guys. What do you got about some that might sneak in on some stuff?
Well, what do you think about LSU? What do you think about LSU?
Gosh.
Getting in.
I don't.
I know they deserve to get in, but.
No, I lost a lot for LSU in that SEC tournament, some of the decisions they made.
Yeah, they looked horrible.
I don't think they really deserve it. I think they'll take I think I've got NC State beating them in that first round and go from there, so.
Some teams that can make a big splash show that people have been talking about. I've heard, believe it or not, Northern Iowa, a 5 seed.
I've got that game listed as my absolute best first round game. It's Northern Iowa and Wyoming. Saw Wyoming play in that tournament. Wyoming has got a nice club. That's going to be a tough one. Oh, you're asking me tough questions.
Alan Edwards, Kentucky.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll give you that info. You're good on that. I did not know that.
Yep.
But that'll be a good first game. Now, another team that's a sleeper that I don't like. Picking them because they always kill me. Is Oklahoma.
Oh God, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma has got, they lost on a very tough second play in that tournament. Guy had a wide open layup and missed it. So they're one that you talk about. That Northern Iowa is another one. I think that's going to be the toughest first round game for them. And like I said, I picked Stephen F. Austin down there against Utah. I've got them. They're a strong team. Buffalo as well.
VCU make a run.
They're in a tough bracket, man. That's a tough.
Ohio State and Arizona.
So that's a tough one for them. And I tell you one that I'll go get another. We can follow up, but one that lost their conference tournament. Dayton.
Having to play in Dayton to get in.
I know, but I really think they could do.
And if they get in, they got Providence, and they could beat Providence.
Yeah, they could. They very well could. So, who you got winning the whole thing?
Who's your first big seed to go out?
First big seed. We talking
1-2.
The 1-2. Oh, man. I had it laid out there.
Is it Kentucky? Will it be Kansas? Kansas,
that's right. I talked about them. Kansas will be the bigger.
Wisconsin, Arizona, Villanova. I don't like Villanova to go very far. What about Louisville? Some people have Louisville going to Final Four on ESPN even.
Yeah, they do. A couple of those guys, I saw that.
Easier break. I mean, they can play with Virginia, of course. They beat Virginia once. And I don't know if they played Villanova or not.
Their bracket's not bad.
The bracket's not horrible for them to make a run.
But they're in Seattle, Washington.
That's the problem. They're having to travel.
That's tough. I don't care.
Leaving the coast to time change.
The time change would be awful for them.
So if Louisville's go, they would have UC Irvine, the Anteaters. Then again, they play a tough team in either one of those. Then they could be either Villanova or maybe NC State could sneak up on them. Lafayette will give Villanova all they want.
They will. It'll be a game for a little while.
But yeah, that I could see Louisville for that reason.
A lot of people have picked them out of that East.
And then it would be coming into Michigan State or Virginia.
Is it a guarantee Virginia gets past Michigan State?
No, love Izzo. He gets them ready to play.
Izzo can get them ready to play. So, the Final Four.
I still think everybody's playing for second.
Out of the Midwest, it's Kentucky.
It's Kentucky. I
don't think Kansas can beat them. They're the 2 seed over there, and I don't think, like we said, Notre Dame's not going to play with them.
I think Maryland will give them the first shot, and I would like to see the Notre Dame-Kentucky matchup because of the way Notre Dame plays. But then again, when you got that big joker, Willie Cauley's 7'7", and he's out there guarding the guard.
What are you gonna do?
So I mean, that takes away some stuff they can do. So that would have been their first, but I think there. And then you're right. I don't think anybody can.
And
keep
in the
them.
West, you have Wisconsin as the 1, and Arizona as the 2.
Love Wisconsin, but I don't know if they can keep the momentum they've had. Although they rolled right through the Big Ten tournament. I mean, of course, they beat Michigan State in overtime, but.
North Carolina's in that bracket. They can maybe possibly give them a challenge.
I'm down on the heels
I'm
this
not
time.
big on the heels.
The way they, yeah.
Baylor's your 3 seed in that one. I'm not big on Baylor. And Arizona. Wisconsin would be a good game in the West.
Would be.
I have Wisconsin going to the Final Four.
Okay.
Match up with Kentucky.
All right.
Out of the East.
Did we talk about that one? Did we already do that one? No, you did. We started. We were talking about a minute ago with Louisville or whatever.
If Louisville doesn't come out, I think I could see Virginia coming out, though.
Okay.
Virginia's athletic. I can see them coming out. I'm just not big on Villanova. And Louisville right now is so streaky, you don't know who you're getting night in, night out. So
I'm going to pick the Anteaters just because I like their name. No,
I don't blame you.
But, no,
it's funny that you know their name.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oklahoma could be dangerous.
That's going to be my sleeper out there. Oklahoma going to come through.
They could do it.
Lon Kruger, he's the only coach that has taken 5 teams in the NCAA tournament.
5? Yeah. He came from Illinois at one time.
Illinois. You can maybe Kansas State,
Illinois. See it, Florida,
Oklahoma,
and probably somebody out west. I don't remember who it was now.
Pressure on me, daggone it.
Oh well.
I'm gonna have to figure it out. But anyway, and then what we got?
The
South.
It's Duke and Gonzaga. If it matches up, that'd be okay. Duke Gonzaga, but Duke, I don't see anybody. Georgetown's their 4 seed, so I don't see that happening. And down low, you have Gonzaga. They'd have to play with Iowa State.
I'm going to go Iowa State out of that one. Iowa State, I like the way they play. I like the mayor. My boy Fred Hoiberg does a good job with that crew.
What about UCLA making the tournament, 11th seed?
That's
team that scored, 8 points against Kentucky?
That's got to be from
that got to be
reputation
history.
And history. That's probably as good a call as any.
Gonzaga, though, at Davidson, Iowa, 2nd round.
Have you watched Gonzaga play much?
Very little.
They
shoot the ball.
Former UK kid, the Welcher kid, has got stronger. He does a really good job.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they play enough out there.
Yeah. Their opponents are not the greatest, though. It's kind of like the Ohio Valley, if you will. They don't have a very strong conference, and nobody wants to go to Gonzaga and play.
No, they don't.
And of course, they're not going to travel over to Rupp Arena or Carolina either.
That's very true.
But I have Duke coming out of that one. I have Duke, Virginia, Kentucky, Wisconsin.
Okay. I think you're pretty good on that. I'm trying to find some of my stuff on that fifth team, but I can't find it. But we'll look it up. That'll be a trivia. Somebody call in and tell us who that 5th team was. So, but I think Kentucky's going to have to kind of lose it. Meaning, there's a couple teams that can stretch them and do some things.
I think Wisconsin can get them.
But now that again, I love Kaminsky. I love their guards, the kids. But you think of that, he's going to have to battle Willie Cauley-Stein, 7-footer maybe. But then they're going to run 3 more in at him. That's exactly right.
And 11 if you want to go with Hawkins and Willis. But
that's right.
10 guys that play regularly.
Roll them right through. So
that is tough for anybody. I don't care who you are. You'd have to have that team get the flu. Kentucky has got to get the flu or get in foul trouble.
Yep. Those guys.
5 guys off the floor. So
they don't panic. That's been amazing to me. They don't. They're not. I start to say when they get down, they don't. But they've never been down.
They went to overtime a couple
times. When they get close, those games, the Georgia late in the year, and even Arkansas late in the year, it was like, okay, well now we're close. Let's go and do it. And that's a credit to him to keep them that way. But then again, fear is an awful good motivating factor because he even cut it down in the SEC tournament. One mistake. Come on over here. You know, that's because
there's somebody else to fill your shoes. What do you think about them not cutting down the nets? Did you hear what Calipari said? He said they just forgot.
I don't even think he needed an explanation, but I don't know how you forget. But that's hard for me to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to question whether he told the truth or not. That's him.
Well, they were in a hurry, I believe, to get back.
Now, there was a picture on somewhere that Towns was sitting there in an interview, and he had a net around his neck.
What happened with that was the team managers cut him down.
Okay, well,
I read that the team managers cut him down.
Okay.
And Towns said, I don't even know how I got this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the team managers cut her down.
Picture, so.
Well, with Kentucky, the low athletic budget they have, they don't want to have to spend any more money on nets. They're probably trying to save a few dollars. I appreciate that. Today's economy.
Well, what happened is, he didn't want Cauley-Stein to climb a ladder and fall off. He didn't need an injury.
That could
didn't need an injury.
There you go. We'll start that rumor.
So
I got Kentucky. I have Wisconsin Duke in the finals, but Kentucky beats Wisconsin. Duke, can they beat Kentucky?
Yeah. Oh man, after where they played Notre Dame, I don't think they could. But then again, it's a whole different ball game. I just don't think unless Kentucky stumbles and gets somebody that really shoots the heck out of it and gets in foul trouble. And again, I thought it could have been a Notre Dame type style of play, but I don't think Notre Dame will get to them. Now there'll be some different physicality, as you use, still my man.
It's all going to be about the calls also.
Right.
How's the referee's going to blow it?
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the number one thing. How's the ref's going to call it? And how are your kids going to take when they start getting beat on and there's no calls in?
Yeah.
Well, you know they're bruised today. They got to be bruised today. They've got cuts and scrapes after the Arkansas. They beat them up.
Yeah. But there's in my mind, there's a different type of beating them than maybe going hard and getting. But we're talking constantly
blood
inside, beating, getting off your back. Because when you get established inside and you feel like you don't have anybody pushing you off that block, you become a monster.
Yeah.
But when you got somebody, every time you're cutting across the lane, you're nudging them. Not that instant you don't see maybe on the fouls called. The other stuff, if they can get somebody that comes against them, and Wisconsin has that type of team.
They do.
Maryland has a little bit that type of team. But, I don't know.
Kentucky don't win it. Bad season. Horrible. How would the season be remembered if Kentucky don't win it?
Ask one that leads the blue over here. She's going to say it's just
a disappointment.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my
I think
God!
people
Fire
won't be happy. They want the ninth.
It's 40-0 or busted for Kentucky now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of pressure, undue pressure on them. But you play the game. You pay the piper over there because that's what it's about here.
You know what Calipari kept saying? Just one team gets hot into 3-point land, we get in foul trouble. So he's going to have to convince these kids, Manhattan could give us a game. And then he's got to go, West Virginia or whoever, Purdue can shoot the ball. And then he's got to go, Maryland's a great team all the way through. I mean, it's hard to get up for – Kentucky seemed to have played down to the competition sometimes.
Yes,
let's just face it. When they played Buffalo, Bobby Hurley, who's into – they didn't play very well against Buffalo for like a half and
With
half
no
and a
passion.
half.
Just out there.
We're going to put the ball out and beat them anyway. And they'll do that against Manhattan. They can beat Manhattan. Purdue and Cincinnati, they could probably beat either one of those teams without much pressure. But once you get down there to the Marylands and the Notre Dames and the,
well, he does a good job coaching, motivating, whatever. I think he if they're ready to play, that's going to be hard to do it. But it's going to be a good tournament. They're not going to walk through it.
It's not going to be 20 points every night.
I don't think so.
It is. They're the greatest team ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since the UCLA ball clubs in the 60s and 70s, whatever.
Right. That's over.
What about off the basketball? What about Ashley Judd and Dick Vitale? Are they a couple now?
I heard they were.
Oh my goodness!
You think?
Dick's in trouble. Dick's in trouble. His wife, he just said she was mad at him.
So, another topic. Who, after the season's over, how many do you think will leave?
All 15. Dominique's going too. They're all gone.
I think you'll have Hawkins and Willis back.
Yes.
Although that's not a given. I still say Willis may leave. I don't think Derek Willis is very happy.
Leave as far as
transfer out. I don't think Willis is very happy.
Yeah.
He's not getting enough playing.
He's not playing at all.
If Kentucky goes 40-0, wins the championship,
Calipari's in Cleveland next year.
Is UK basketball the best college program of all time period?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
No.
What's better?
UCLA.
Alabama football.
College basketball program of all time?
Oh.
No. He said basketball.
UCLA.
Right.
Basketball.
UCLA in the 60s, 70s. Kareem. Walton. All that bunch.
Now, if you're going to ask, if you're asking me, is it the greatest team one-on-one against them? There's some, but as far as program,
what's better
at that point? Which you asking?
What's better? Are they the best college basketball program in the country if they go 40-0 this year and win the national championship?
Of all time, or
I don't think that makes them. That one season would make them. I don't think that would make them. Yeah, they can make the argument because but a fan of whatever can say. But it's just
Indiana went 40-0, whatever, or 38-0, whatever it was back in. Some say, could this team beat the '96 team of Kentucky's? I've heard people say this team might give the '96 team could give them a game. The 12 team could give them. Nancy Davis team could give them a good game. How would Davis, Willie Cauley-Stein, them guys match up with Davis? So.
Well, I just can't see that being that one season would make that. Now they're in the top echelon without a doubt. And I don't
they
know
are
who
the top
make
team
that,
of the day.
But
let's not forget this team went to the NIT a couple years ago, or whatever. So
I don't worry. Was anybody on that? Wiltshire, but he's still playing. That group's still playing.
Yeah,
he's
but I mean,
at another school.
as far as the
But
program goes, this team went to the NIT a couple
Yeah.
years ago. So
Yeah,
And
he,
win.
you know, I
they
mean,
haven't won the SEC in 3 years.
again, you've got guys. My answer might be more based on my history of the game and things like that. And nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with the one and done. I don't like it. Just like Izzo said, I'm not sure if I think that's good for the game. And there were some people that are UK fans that don't listen and they want to get on Izzo. He was not saying anything bad.
No.
He just says it's not good. It's good for the game. But Calipari is playing the rules that are doled out in front of him, and he's playing it better than anybody else. Ain't no doubt about it.
He is the best
but
at it.
again,
the game change.
you see it, and I don't think I'm very old. I'm 35. But I wish I was. But I hate to say, well, I remember back in the day. But it's different. And there was again, I hate seeing my nephews or little kids. You pick a player off that team and you watch him for 4 years. That don't happen.
You become a Davis fan, he's gone.
No.
Yeah.
That's another thing too with Kentucky now. We just saw him put Tony Delkus here up in the rafters. Who's next?
Yeah, how are you?
Tayshaun Prince will be next. Yeah. How can you put Anthony Davis up there? I know he's player of the year and all this, but what he scored? 800 points in his career, probably, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You can't. How can you put Willie Cauley up there? He only played 1 year.
Right.
Patterson.
No, he's two because he's
a 2 year.
He came
That's
back.
right. He came back.
He's a sophomore.
He's a junior.
He's a junior. He got hurt at the end last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So but they don't have the 4 year guys.
Right.
So on. So.
Well, and especially after you watched the 30 for 30 last night and the whole Duke program and how Christian Leitner was there for the 4 years.
Well, Farmer, Feldhouse, all that bunch was here 4 years.
And like you said, you used to date? You and Leitner? Is that
yes,
no?
We did.
I know you're not a Leitner fan, but we talk
and
about.
That's why I would wear the T-shirt on the dates. I hate Christian Leitner.
With that, again, you made a point earlier about that. His records are secure, and also you're never going to see that success because no one that has anywhere near that ability.
Right. We
is
weren't on air when we
years.
said that, but we were talking earlier about Christian Leitner's records in the tournament, and those will never be broken.
I'm shocked the Harrison twins came back.
Yeah, a lot of us were.
Could they be back next year if neither one of them's projected first 2 rounds? They're not projected right now.
I don't think they'll be back.
They're going to go free agent route.
And as good a kids as they, from what we hear, are, and good of things that they'd like to do, this atmosphere is good for them.
Go 3 years. There's no hurry to get out.
The millions.
The millions. And they don't want to get injured.
But if they're not first 2 rounds, they're not guaranteed.
Well, that's true.
You could be DeAndre Liggins over in Russia right now.
Well, they're not guaranteed either way. But
you could be Dan Yorton trying to get a job somewhere.
The 40-0, if they go that way and win this thing, I think they've already established the. I think that pushes them to that point. But
that's not to say we don't have great players coming in already.
Yeah.
But the first year is always the hardest.
It is. Well, now that we've talked a little bit about Kentucky, EKU has a home game tomorrow night.
They do.
Playoff game in the CIT.
That's good.
That's right.
Who do they play?
Norfolk State. 20-win program. Should be a good one. I talked to Coach today. He said, they're playing the same style Eastern does, so it's going to be a very tough game. No bracket in the CIT. So
is that too okay?
After you win, they tell you play next. Like, they want to match up teams of equal,
Good. They've got some big promotions up there tomorrow night.
They do. It's St. Patrick's Day or whatever.
Good. Yeah, well, good.
I think there are 6 teams out of the Ohio Valley dancing this year. So,
well, good.
That is good.
That's good. We've got.
And let's not forget Berea College.
They did.
Women went Final Four?
They went to the final game.
Final game.
The boys went to the Final Four. Great year. Coach Hemingway was Coach of the Year in that conference.
Right.
He's doing a good job over there. So they're going to hopefully
good basketball in Madison County as well.
Absolutely. We're good with that. So going to be interesting. Baseball coming up too, so hopefully Madison Central got a pretty good program.
Madison Central
hopefully they won't get back to where we were back in the day, but we'll challenge into that.
East Jessamine, West Jessamine tonight.
Baseball's preseason number 8 in the AP poll. Got a first place vote.
Good. Coach Ruth pushed them to do a good job. They
got a lot of guys back this year.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of good guys back. So
well, I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to my continued
softball. I don't know much about the softball team this year, but
Central's girls tonight. That's why Larry couldn't be with us.
Larry Frank's at the Central Southern softball game.
That's right.
Okay.
So
I'm sure he's upset that we're not at Madison County School Sports filming it, right?
Probably.
And we probably should be, but
that wasn't our call.
That's right.
No,
it wasn't our call.
It was our boss. Pointing one finger right there. All right, so are you guys done? Have we talked enough?
I think we have. We've got a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun coming up.
I had the best job in the world, just sitting here moderating between you two. It was pretty easy, though. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Easy job. No arguments, no arguing.
I stay out of that social media problem. I'm going to be pro whatever. I'm going to be good on that. But
Sounds good. So, boss, are we going to have a show next month so that these fans can
a little
watch
high school
us again?
baseball?
Yeah, we'll get into
Cincinnati
baseball.
Red baseball.
Okay.
I'm anxious to see our predictions, see if we got anything right on the losers and the winners.
Even in a week, it'll be fun to listen about the high school basketball to see how your predictions come out with that, and then another week goes
the first
by.
game.
Well, my bracket will be thrown out by Saturday evening. I'll done burn in. I'll be.
You will?
Yeah, probably. It'll be that bad. I like the upsets. So, but.
Well, sounds good.
I like to see Belmont get a win in the tournament. They're a 15th seed, but they shoot 33s a game.
Yep.
And it's always possible when you shoot that 33
That's true.
out of the valley.
It'll be fun to watch anyways, won't it?
And I honestly, Murray State should have gotten dance.
Yep.
They should have got in over UCLA or someone. But it's name recognition, who you play.
It is, and they don't.
Yeah.
And you can't get UCLA to come to the Ohio Valley, of course.
Right.
They're not going to Murray.
No, you got to get.
And you have to go out there, and it just isn't.
Too expensive.
Is it worth it?
Too many things.
It's not worth it.
That's interesting. There's a lot of articles about that.
So
we'll see.
It is a definite fun time. I mean, it is all about basketball right
a lot
now.
of people sick this week.
Yeah.
Be sick Wednesday.
Oh, and they may not come in Friday morning. Because that game is late. The UK game is late.
See, Doug Sally is missing. Where's Doug at?
Yeah.
He's resting up for the week. He's going to state tournament, and he's going to watch his basketball games. He ain't sick.
You're right.
Walking pneumonia. Who ever heard of such a thing?
He didn't show. No show, right?
If you got walking pneumonia, you can walk, can't you? You can show up.
Are we walking? We're sitting.
But do you want to sit beside him if he's got pneumonia? You don't.
I'm an old man, and Chad's a lot younger than I am, but we're here.
Nail it.
Yeah, but you don't have pneumonia. If he's got pneummonia, we could have set him on that side of the table.
Put him in a bubble. Got a bubble.
Yes.
There you go.
If he's got pneumonia.
Put him in the bubble. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next month, make sure you write down all their predictions and then tweet us and give them a hard time if they got it wrong. Or tweet me because I'll give them a hard time next month. So thanks again from all of us. There you go.
Thanks, guys.
This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea. Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, off the EKU bypass. Visit them online at jackburford.com. Express Roofing, they have you covered. Visit them online at expressroofing.net. Set up your free estimate now. And remember, you can always visit FayetteCountySchoolSports.com and BluegrassHighSchoolSports.com for all the latest information and links about your school. Thanks for watching.